through. The journey away from the Pride Lands began at sunrise, when the golden light touched the grass one last time and the wind carried the soft sounds of home behind the lion guard. Kion walked at the front, trying to stand tall, but every step sent a sharp reminder through the scar above his eye. The venom still burned inside him, whispering anger when he least expected it. Bunga skipped beside him, pretending everything was normal, cracking jokes about how adventures always started with long walks and empty stomachs. Fully stayed alert, racing ahead and back, while Besht walked carefully beside Ono, matching his pace so he would never feel left behind. The land slowly changed as they traveled. Familiar plains turned into rocky paths, and the air felt different, heavier, as if the world beyond the Pride Lands was testing them. At night, they rested beneath strange stars, and Kion found it harder to sleep. His dreams were filled with fire, roaring voices, and shadows that looked too familiar. Sometimes he woke up growling, and sometimes he woke up afraid. Ono noticed everything, even without clear sight, listening to Kion's breathing, sensing the tension in the group. One evening, as they crossed a narrow canyon, rocks suddenly tumbled from above. Fuli shouted a warning, and Besht rushed forward, shielding Ono with his massive body. Kion reacted without thinking and used the roar. The sound echoed too loudly, shaking the canyon walls and sending dust everywhere. When it stopped, silence followed, thick and uncomfortable. "Kion," Besht said gently. "We're safe, but that was close." Kion looked down, ashamed. "I didn't mean to lose control," he said quietly. Bunga tried to lighten the mood, but even he could feel the fear creeping in. As days passed, the venom's influence grew stronger. Small problems felt huge to Kion, and simple decisions made him snap. When a group of unfamiliar animals refused to let them pass near their territory, Kion stepped forward aggressively, his eyes flashing. Fuli quickly intervened, calming the situation with speed and words, but afterward she pulled Kion aside. "We trust you," she said, "but we need you to trust us too." Kion nodded, though inside he felt torn between who he was and who he feared becoming. Finally, after many trials, they reached a lush valley, glowing with soft light. Strange trees shimmered, and the air felt alive with calm energy. This was the land near the Tree of Life. The Night Pride appeared, moving silently, their eyes bright and wise. Their leader approached Kion and studied him carefully. "You carry great strength," she said, "but strength without balance can break even the bravest heart." Kion lowered his head, admitting his fear of the darkness growing inside him. The Night Pride leader guided him to a quiet clearing where glowing flowers surrounded them. She told him that healing was not about removing pain instantly, but learning to live with it without letting it rule. As Kion sat alone, memories flooded his mind. Thawar, Scar's voice, the pressure to protect everyone. He felt small again, like a cub trying to be a king. Tears fell, and for the first time, he allowed himself to feel weak. In that moment, a warm presence filled the air. The voice of Mufasa echoed softly, reminding him that true leadership meant choosing kindness, even when anger felt easier. Kion breathed deeply, focusing on the love he had for his friends and his home. The fire inside him cooled slightly, not gone, but calmer. Meanwhile, Ono trained with the Night Pride, learning to rely on his mind and memory instead of sight. He memorized paths, listened to echoes, and used logic to guide others. Slowly, his confidence returned. Bunga and Besht helped animals around the Tree of Life, flowing, realizing that helping others helped them feel hopeful too. When the Lion Guard finally stood before the Tree of Life, its branches glowing like stars, they felt awe and peace. The tree's energy flowed around them, soothing wounds and spirits. Kion felt the venom weaken, though not disappear completely, and he understood his journey was not finished. Oh no, felt clarity and strength, ready to continue in a new way. As they rested, the Night Pride leader warned them that challenges still awaited, and darkness could return if ignored. Far away, unseen eyes watched, and a quiet hiss echoed in the distance, promising that their story was far from over. Des. The sun dipped low as the Lion Guard stood at the edge of the Pride Lands. The familiar shapes of acacia trees and golden plains stretching out before them like a long-awaited embrace. Warm wind brushed through their fur and feathers, carrying sense of home that made Bunga grin wide and Besh sigh with relief. Kion stopped for a moment before stepping forward, letting the feeling settle deep inside him. Etherny, beyond the Pride Lands, had changed him in ways he was still learning to understand. His scar no longer burned with sharp pain, but it remained warm, alive, reminding him of everything he had faced and everything still to come. As they moved forward together, animals began to notice their return. Heads lifted from grazing, eyes widened, and soft murmurs spread across the plains. The Lion Guard was back, but something about them felt different, stronger yet calmer, as if they carried the wisdom of distant lands within them. Rafiki appeared from behind a tree, tapping his staff lightly on the ground, his smile knowing and proud. He studied Kion carefully, then nodded, sensing the balance slowly returning. Bird traveled quickly, and soon Simba stood waiting near Pride Rock. His expression filled with relief, pride, and concern all at once. Kion approached him, lowering his head respectfully, and Simba gently touched foreheads with his son, saying nothing at first, letting the moment speak for itself. That night, the Pride Lands gathered to celebrate their return. Stories were shared, laughter echoed, and for the first time in a long while, the stars above seemed brighter. Yet even in celebration, Kion felt a quiet unease, a feeling that the peace was fragile, like glass that could shatter if handled carelessly. As days passed, the Lion Guard resumed their duties, but the world felt different now. Problems were no longer loud or obvious. Instead of roaring fires and invading armies, small cracks appeared in trust and harmony. A disagreement here, a misunderstanding there. Things that once would have been easily resolved now lingered longer than they should. Kia noticed it first when two prides argued over territory that had always been shared peacefully. Instead of stepping in with authority, he listened, remembering the lessons from beyond the Pride Lands. Heat guided the conversation, encouraging understanding instead of blame, and slowly, the tension eased. But afterward, when he was alone, doubt crept in. Was he doing enough? Was restraint always the right choice? Late one evening, as Kion patrolled alone, the wind shifted suddenly, carrying a faint, familiar hiss. His muscles tightened, heart racing, and memories of scars surged forward, uninvited. Froze, breathing deeply, reminding himself that Scar was gone. Still, the feeling lingered, like a shadow just out of sight. The next morning, Arno approached him quietly, saying he had noticed unusual patterns in animal movement near the Outlands. Though Scar was gone, the land still remembered the scars of war, and unrest there could spread if ignored. The Lion Guard traveled to the border, where the earth still bore dark marks from old fires. There they found a group of young animals arguing, their voices sharp with fear and frustration. They spoke of strange sounds at night, of shadows moving where none should be. Kian listened carefully, realizing that fear left behind by Scar had not vanished, only changed shape. Instead, dismissing it, he gathered the animals and spoke openly about fear, about how it could grow if left alone. He shared his own struggles, his scar catching the light as he spoke, and the animals listened, surprised by his honesty. Together they decided to patrol and protect one another, turning fear into shared responsibility. As weeks passed, Kion grew more confident in this new way of leading, but the venom inside him still stirred during moments of stress. One afternoon, when a sudden stampede threatened a herd of smaller animals, Kion nearly lost control, the roar building in his chest. He closed his eyes, grounding himself in the sounds of his friends, and chose a softer approach, guiding the herd calmly while fully redirected their path. 2. The crisis passed without harm, and Kion felt a wave of relief wash over him. Yet that night, his dreams returned, vivid and unsettling. He dreamed of standing atop Pride Rock alone, the land below silent and empty, his roar echoing without answer. He woke shaken, realizing that leadership also meant facing loneliness. Rafiki noticed the change and invited Kion to walk with him at dawn. As they climbed a hill overlooking the plains, Rafiki spoke of past kings and queens, of how every leader faced moments of doubt. He told Kion that scars were not signs of failure, but reminders of lessons earned. Hearing this, Kion felt a small weight lift from his heart. Meanwhile, Ono continued to adapt, becoming the team's strategist, memorizing routes and patterns. Proving that sight was not the only way to see, Vunga grew more thoughtful too, his jokes now paired with surprising insight, while Besh's steady presence remained a source of comfort for everyone. Fully, ever watchful, balanced speed with patience, learning when to act and when to wait. Together, the Lion Guard felt more united than ever, bound not just by duty, but by understanding. One evening, a messenger arrived with troubling news from distant lands. A drought was spreading, causing animals to migrate unpredictably, increasing tension across borders. Kion realized this challenge would require cooperation beyond the Pride Lands. Drawing on what he learned during his journey, he suggested reaching out, forming alliances instead of guarding borders tightly. Simba listened carefully, seeing the growth in his son's words, and agreed. The Lion Guard set out once more, not to fight, but to connect. As they traveled, Kion felt a quiet confidence building. He knew mistakes would happen, fear would return, and darkness might test him again, but he also knew he was not alone. Standing beneath the stars one night, he looked at his reflection in a calm pool of water. The scar was still there, but it no longer frightened him. It was part of his story, a reminder that courage was not the absence of fear, but the choice to face it with compassion. As the Lion Guard moved forward into the night, their silhouettes strong and steady. The Pride Land slept peacefully behind them, and the circle of life turned gently onward. Ready for the next chapter in a story still being written.